So, let's check a quick build. Beyond should have it. Here it is. You can make a ranger quickly by following these suggestions. First, make Dex your highest ability score, very good, followed by Wisdom, also good. Some rangers who focus on two-weapon fighting make strength higher than dexterity. I don't recommend that. That's not exactly the best advice. You can make a two-weapon fighting ranger with Dex, and I do recommend the Dex. Going Dex is really good. Second, choose the Outlander background. Nothing wrong with a good old Outlander background, but it's not the best option. Rules is written. And, well, in every way. So, have pros. Good stats recommendation. Also, decent background. That's about all the good I can say for that. Cons. Strength Ranger. Strength Ranger is kind of really odd. Ranger is just conceptually is very, very dexterous. And the mechanics back that up. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could do a Strength Ranger, but I don't know. All the flavor seems to be going in one way, and that's where the mechanics go. Well, if it's all going in one way, let's go the one way. You know, let's not fight that. And then, also, we got no race. No race recommendations. No spell choice. Which is weird because they do get casting like any other. And yeah, I guess that's it. Not much else con-wise. Oh yeah, of course. No equipment recommendations. Gotta have that longbow, man. Longbow, some good arrows, that's all you need. Of course, you want a melee weapon. Yeah. Always good to have that set up. Want specific things to go with Ranger. And I know it's like, you probably default get that. Oh yes, longbow, 20 arrows. Like, let's see this. Yeah, you get it. But also, you should be taking the Explorer's pack. And 2 short swords. And then also, there's no purchasing goals. Oh, it's a nightmare. So, I guess I'll mention like the reason why I'm doing these whole thick builds is because the quick build is kind of like a misnomer. It's really just wizards trying to make a lot of money. Like, hey, do you not have that much time on your hands, but you still want to play D&D? Here's a quick build. Like, well, you might not have the best fun with that, and that's not good for the community. It's not good for you either. It's like, you put a little bit of time into it, you get great results. I didn't put much time into making my first character, and it was not the best experience. It was a lot of fun, but it could have been way better. And way better, I mean, I put in like 8 hours into the 2 sessions that I played in that mini group. And if I just put like 30 minutes of my off time into doing some research or watching a couple of good videos, I could have had a really, really good time. And I just focused on very classic recommendations, and they were not the best idea. So yeah, it's the difference between a lot of fun and a little fun, and also sometimes being alive at all for your character. It's like you want your character to live most of the time. So we put in a little effort. Get yourself a THICC build going. The THICC build. THICC build, I will recommend for just rules as written. Gloom Stalker. Gloom Stalker is really, really good as a ranger. Really good. Also, let's see, I am going to downsize the series from now on. I won't do like the whole build, like stats and equipment and everything. I will just give my best recommendations. Gloom Stalker is really good for a number of reasons. I'll pull it up right now. Go to, instead of Beyond, we'll do Wikidot, because Wikidot is amazing. Rules as written, we can do customized background. They're not terribly overpowered, so your DM will most likely allow them. And from the Ranger class, the skills we'll be taking is survival, perception, and stealth. Those are just too solid. So we'll be doing survival, because that's just classic ranger. You're tracking, knowledge, this and that, wherever. Crucial to the ranger. Perception. Most used skill in the game. Looking, seeing, I did seeing, hearing, smelling, basic sensory, scouting. You want to hit a really far target with your longbow. Perception is the way to go. Perception is really, really solid. Keeping Night's Watch, whatever. I don't think I need to say more. Stealth. Sneaking around. Staying silent. You'll need stealth. These 3 already really good core. And it goes off of wisdom, dex. Those are your skills. Or those are your abilities, you know? Dex and wisdom, that's what you want. However, you also want con, of course. Gotta be alive. You want that HP. That should be tied. It should be a 16, 14, 14, or maybe like a 17, 15, 14, or something like that. 16, 15, 14, whatever your point by or what have you. Maybe a 16, 16, 14, depending on point by or what have you. keeping in mind that a lot of tables are going to not allow a V-human or a custom lineage race. For this class, I will go for half-drow. A customized half-drow race. And I'll have this before that. The reason is you have 3 primary stats, and the half-drow will give you 3 stat bonuses. Your +2, +1, +1, and you also get, so let's see, 3 stat bonuses. And drow spellcasting. So good. Oh, good. That. Fairy Fire is just crazy good. So good to concentrate on that. And it's free. Dancing Lights is okay, but it's still a cantrip, and it's still nice. And Darkness is Darkness. Darkness is just gonna be good all the time. Custom map, custom background. You can make this rules as written. I forget where it's exactly found in the DMG, but it's there. You get to pick any 2 skills that you like, and then take your classic background feature, and then you get all the standard equipment, which it's nice but not terribly important to the main, it's like skill set of the ranger. And you get the feature, which is really good for the ranger. So the skills that we will be taking is this is a tough one now. All of a sudden, it's difficult. Well, I believe the ranger gets canny anyway. If I'm correct on that. I haven't looked at ranger in a long time, as you can tell. Yes. There it is. Canny perception. Do insight. Insight and wine. Just because the only reason why I didn't pick acrobatics is I want to be useful in all pillars of play. Insight allows use in social situations, and acrobatics does not. And acrobatics is really good for exploration, but we're going to have a really good modifier in dex anyway, and also stealth is really good for exploration and perception. We're not lacking in that category. But animal handling is going to be super good, because if we can get a good animal like a mule or something, or just a riding horse, a war horse, now we're traveling at crazy speeds. We're not going to be in threat of being grappled. So now we have everything that we need to not use acrobatics as much. It's still going to be good to use, but we're still going to have a good modifier. We don't need proficiency. And then, of course, I will mention the spells now. Those spells. Or did I get rid of the tab? Oh my god. I can just go back here, pull the tab up. First, once we get to second level, we get spellcasting. We got 2 spells now. Absorb elements for sure. For defense, it's gonna be huge. And also entangle. Entangle, oh man. These are gonna be so good. So good. Entangle shuts down an entire encounter. It can shut down an entire encounter by itself. That 20-foot, I think, cube it was, or square, that. Thanks, Koopy Doopy, for the follow. The size on Entangle is really good, and potentially restraining targets can not only set up you for great damage, but also your entire party. This is making for a really good support style character, and not necessarily just all-out bow-slinging traditional ranger, but like getting a little bit of druidic flavor in there, which I really like. Druid's my favorite color. I know it was gonna be sad. It's like, oh my god, there's no Hunter's Mark. There's no Hunter's Mark. I understand, no Hunter's Mark. Odds are we're going to be able to track what we need to track. So the bonus there, not going to be useful too often. What about the 1d6, you might say? Well, the Entangle is going to provide a lot more mathematical gains over just a 1d6 once a turn. Being able to restrain like 3, 4, 5 enemies, and everybody has like advantage on them to attack or do what have you, is amazing. It's going to very much outplay Hunter's Mark for a long, long time. And eventually we're going to cycle into having Fairy Fire for free once a day. And that's also going to take concentration. Because of this, we're going Entangled. It's leaving Hunter's Mark behind, but it's going to be worth it. Especially once we start getting more spells known. Whew. Whew. Oh, it's going to be so good. So, going to get also, I should mention, I think this is pretty straightforward, but archery fighting style. Goodberry, if your table allows it. Goodberry can be rest casted, so at the end of your rest, a long rest, when you're doing menial activity or non-stressful activity, rules is written, cast Goodberry, and then your spell slots come back. So if you have your spell slots that you haven't spent, towards the end of the long rest, you can Goodberry. The Goodberries last 24 hours. You can juggle 20, 40 Goodberries, and maybe, again, the game allows familiars, like the wizard familiar, can feed it to people to heal them a lot. You can feed it to people if you go up to them, heal them a decent amount. Depending on your type of game, doesn't necessarily break the game. It depends. This is why but, man, it's so good. Goodberry is really good. I do recommend Goodberry. Great healing in that. Of course, I'm saying this as I don't allow it at my table for being crazy. Well, with the multi-class into life cleric and all the shenanigans that you can pull. But, hey, if you allow it, then they can use it. They can use it. It's so good. Continuing onward, there's a lot of really good second level spells. So second level spells, oh man, it's tough. But pass without trace. It's too good to pass up. Pun intended. Pass without trace is insane. Plus 10 to stealth checks is crazy. For the whole party, pretty much. It's insane. Insanely powerful. Not to mention all the other amazing spells on this list, like Aid. And Locate Object. It's crazy. Not to of course, Summon Beast. Wild options. Aid, if you don't know, raises hit point maximum and current HP by 5 for 3 creatures. You could do this in battle and heal 3 of your party members up from being unconscious. Now they're conscious again. Or you can do it way earlier and just give 5 temp HP. Not even temp HP. 5 increased HP. It's so good. I love it. It is really good spell. Lasts 8 hours non-concentration. That's insane. Crazy good. Of course, for this build, no, actually, we're getting darkness for free. But I've already mentioned that. Darkness would be so nice. You cast darkness on somebody, then you just hail arrows into them, or just set up whatever you need to. Use it as like a mini banishment. Okay, you can't see in there. As you struggle to get your bearings, me and the party are gonna set up a big trap at the edge of the darkness. Or maybe we'll set up this trap anyway, prepare all these readied actions, and then the ranger, you're gonna cast another concentration spell, and then the darkness will disappear and then everything will fire off at once. Really good stuff. Locate Object, really good to just cheese dungeons. Like, oh, you're looking for a specific thing, huh? Oh, well, I found it. It's there. We'll get it. Super convenient. And I didn't even mention good spells that are on this list, like Lesser Restoration, Spike Growth, Silence. Of course, Summon Beast is going to give you a really, really strong bonus action. It's really, really good spell list that the Ranger. Of course, at level 3, you get Gloom Stalker, which is wild. Of course, I'm skipping over a variety of situational features that aren't going to be the extreme power of the class. But man, Gloom Stalker gives you a lot of really good bonuses right at level 3. It is pretty solid. Go over them right about now. I'm gonna click on it. Getting Disguise Self for free, and then eventually Rope Trick. Greater invisibility is crazy. Rope Trick is crazy, you know, just being able to fuck off from any one encounter and then go up in the rope and just take a short rest at any time is crazy. Especially amazing if you have like a fighter or warlock in your party. Just get all those short rest abilities up. Dare I say, even a monk. Disguise Self, really good in social situations. Or exploration, or whatever. It's just fun. It's such a fun spell to use, and carries with it a bunch of really cool utility that comes from a lot of creative play, which is just good for the game. But the real craziness is these two abilities, Dread Ambusher and Umbral Sight. Bonus to initiative is crazy. Passive all the time. You're adding, at this point, +5 or +6 to your initiative. Being able to go first and get an entangle on 3, 4, 5 creatures and just shut down the encounter is so valuable. And your DM's not going to be happy, and the whole party is going to be very pleased, and everybody's going to laugh. And everybody's going to remember it for a long time, many years to come. This is a great fun. It's really good already, but there's more. You get an increased speed, which is really good for finding cover, getting yourself positioned correctly, and hey, getting an additional attack and more damage. So you're the sniping master. Slinging D8s from 150 feet out. Crazy damage from that range. Free Dark Vision. Really solid. But you could even go like Lizard Folk Ranger or Furbolg Ranger. They both lack Dark Vision, and being able to just get Dark Vision really solid. Of course, if your campaign allows Variant Human, pick Variant Human. Pick Variant Human, take Crossbow Expert, get yourself a hand crossbow and flavor it as a bow if you like, and you'll get your Dark Vision eventually, and you can just go crazy. You can just go crazy. But, yeah, I mean, increased Dark Vision. Now we got 90 feet Dark Vision as a half drow. Really solid. Most of the time, enemies are going to have 60 feet Dark Vision, and because you have the longbow, we're going to be way back. So enemies will effectively not be able to see you if you're in darkness. So if you are like 90 feet out or 60 feet out, even if you both have Dark Vision, you have the better Dark Vision. So they can't see you, you can see them. That's free advantage. Now you don't even need Fairy Fire. Now you just have advantage all the time. You just have to get your positioning right. Being invisible as well. Whew. Oh man, being able to get surprise status on some targets. Wow. Incredibly powerful. Rules as written surprise is incredibly powerful. What's really cool as well is that even if some of the party lacks dark vision, you can just pick up hooded lanterns. They're not that expensive at whatever shop. Just put a request in, pick them up, and now you have this one party member that can debilitate with spells, heal with spells from a range, effectively invisible all the time. All you have to do is have the hooded lantern guys up front. You can stand in the back, which you're going to be anyway, launching off arrows. Easy peasy, annual prize pretty much. Most of the time, especially with Pass Without Trace. Oh. Just very good. It's just very good. But, yeah, I mean, Tier 1, you're going to be crushing it. And, of course, I haven't even mentioned all the other abilities like favored, I haven't mentioned much favored foe. I haven't talked much about, like, Deft Explorer or those other abilities that are somewhat situational for the build, but keeping what people's concepts of the Ranger might be out of your head and just looking at the class in a vacuum, it's not bad. It's not bad. Does what people's concepts of the Ranger get overshadowed by this class or that class or this other class or the... Yes. It gets overshadowed to hell and back. It does. Even all these cool features, like skills and things, gets overshadowed by the Druid. It just does. But being able to have this Gloomstalker abilities, that invisibility initiative bonus, nice ranged attack damage, plus all of these cool ass spells on one build, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet, I have to say. And when those situations come up, those abilities are going to be even better. Because you got your Deft Explorer, or your favorite terrain, or whatever version you're using. Oh man, it all comes together. Final thing that I'll mention for a Ranger is purchasing goals. And the ammo bonus. So, your purchasing goals are going to be pretty obvious, but not obvious at the same time. So purchasing goals, strap shield. Strap shield, not in the rules officially, but it makes sense. And any reasonable DM will be like, yeah, why not? It's like Fantasy World. Why wouldn't it be possible? Commission a strap shield, get that +2 AC. Now you have a free hand. You can cast spells, use somatics, and you got a shield. You can have your bow here, shield here, position yourself to the side a little bit. Boom. Bow, shield, draw, fire. Crisp and clean, no caffeine. Not sponsored by 7 from the 90s, or whatever that's from. Whatever. Strap shield, I will always recommend a strap shield for these Gish type classes. Always, always, always. And it's kind of obscene that it's not officially in the rules, but get a strap shield. And the ammo bonus is really cool because you can get a +1 bow and +1 ammo. And that stacks. So, really, when you're in the +1 tier, you're really in the +2 tier. When you're in the +2 tier, you're really in the +4 tier. When you're in the +3 tier, you're really in the +6 tier. Which is super cool because not only do you have this bonus from range, but also you have an extra +3 attack and damage. Really, really good. Really good. With that, the Ranger THICC build is done. Shouldn't be too long, all things considered. And remember, always focus on the table instead of trying to perfectly emulate somebody's build online. Always take the good advice here and there and work it to your table. Table optimization is what you want. I mean, just look at Matt Mercer's recent character on Exandria Unlimited. You can't tell me that he's not table optimizing, and he's a killer role player. You can do both very easily. Table optimization is what you want.